Drivers, have you ever felt like your life is just slipping away as we're waiting for offers for Uber Eats? I sure have. This has been going on for the last 6 months for me. How would you like to know what I've discovered? And there's one thing that you can do right now to fix it. So let's get into the app, and this will be part of the experiment. You can see I'm going to start it right now. That's a familiar sound, isn't it? As we wait for orders. So open up your app. Let's go in there. Go to the top left, the hamburger menu, and then go into earnings and check that out. You're going to see details. That'll make it easier. And what you're going to see are your weekly earnings. And then just a little pro tip at the top there, you can use the arrows to go left and right. That way you're going to see different weeks, and this is going to be important for you. So I'm going to go to my current week. Notice down there, and by the way, this is not the tip. I'm just giving you some background. Notice how it says online, active, and your number of trips. You're going to use these calculations. What this will tell you is over time, how long are you online for Uber Eats? And then also it's going to give you the active time. That's once we've accepted an order, how long does it take you to finish that? And I think you're going to be inspired here in a little bit, because if you keep track of this every week, then your average is going to get really accurate. So what you need to do is over time, I convert mine into minutes. So you can divide that by the number of trips. That's going to give you the number of how long you're online before you do a trip. Also, active time, when you divide that by how many trips each week, you're going to get an overall picture of how long it takes you to do an order once you've accepted it. So let's bring up a chart for the last 6 months. And this is my average. I've noticed in 2025, I'm at 100 minutes by the time I'm online before I can see an offer that I accept. Now this is going to be a little bit different. Now the times have gotten a little bit better for my online time, for my active time, because once I've done an order, it's taking me now the last 6 months an average of 19 minutes. So yeah, I have improved my speed a little bit. But look back the previous year and you can see the difference here. And again, to make this fair, I use the first 6 months of the last few years so that we can get an accurate picture, because 2025 isn't over yet. So you can see in general, I was online an average of an hour, 60 minutes before I would get an offer. Years ago, I was taking every offer, especially during 2023 and 2024. So those are accurate. Since being in 2025, I am happily cherry picking again. And no, that's not the tip either. So I think you're seeing this case being built here. Overall, when I was taking every single offer that came up, I was online an average of an hour. Now I'm at 100 minutes. Isn't that crazy? So that tells me, and it should tell you, that Uber Eats isn't sending me profitable orders. Most of them are not profitable. And here's a couple things. We're going to look at both my mileage and my earnings to see, does this really matter and is it important? So you can apply this to you. It looks like in 2025, and again, Q1, Q2, January through June, and it's almost the end of June, that's well enough data. I've driven roughly 3,300 miles for business. I don't keep track of all the mileage by app. I just do it overall. So 3,300 miles. Let's back up 2024, accepting every offer. That's 3,200 miles. 2023, that's almost 4,500 miles. So you can see, well, looks like I drove a lot of miles. 2022, I was cherry picking during this time. That's 3,300 miles. 2021, this was the glory days, and we'll see when we get to my earnings. 4,400 miles. So can we really figure out any pattern? Am I driving more? Am I driving less on Uber Eats in 2025? I would just say, looking at those miles, I really can't figure out a clear pattern on that. But at least now you can consider the overall mileage compared to how long I'm online and if it really matters. All right, next, let's get into the earnings because this is going to be insightful. 2024, again, 2023 and 2024, I was taking all the orders on Uber Eats. So roughly I made $4,500. You can see about $1,500 on Uber Eats. So what that tells me is there are declining orders on Uber Eats overall just in my market for the time that I'm on there. In 2025, this is quite disturbing. So I am cherry picking. I'm not taking every offer. I'm only taking profitable orders. I'm making $834. That's like, well, almost half of what I was making last year, taking every offer. This, I would say, is a little concerning for you and definitely for me because obviously, oh, wow, I actually got an offer. All right, I'll do a screenshot. A Starbucks, 807 for 2.8 miles. That is a good order. All right, for fun, I'm going to take it and we'll be right back for this video. All right, I am back. I know that was quick for you. And I'll tell you what, here I'm making a video talking about really how Uber Eats isn't giving me profitable orders. And then I get two. Right after you saw me last, I did get another shopping order. This was a $12 tip, basically just a few bags of groceries. I'll throw the screenshot up there. Wow. So you can add this into my total. I was online roughly an hour, 30 minutes of active time. When that tip comes in for that Starbucks order, I'll have made $24 in 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. And since we're on a roll of sharing these kind of orders, I started off today with not a rude customer, I'll just say an inconsiderate customer. And so in a little bit, or actually I'll just do it now. Check out this footage. I was going up this really steep hill to the drop off. They had a gate there and then couldn't get in. Obviously a normal customer would say, hey, come on in and turn around. Nope. I got to back up all the way down the driveway. But as a professional Uber Eats driver, I could handle that. But you can see this kind of footage. How would you handle backing down that long of a distance? So as drivers, this is clearly yet another skill we need to have in order to thrive as an Uber Eats driver. So just thought I would share that as well. And speaking of which, let's get to the tip. Here's what you need to do. You need to multi-app. And this gives you options. You clearly saw my pay was high and then varying as the Uber Eats orders came down. So I was still making money, roughly driving similar miles. You know, I already shared, I can't really break that down by app. But what this is showing, I'm making less on Uber Eats. That's because I'm accepting more profitable orders on the other app. So it's great to have Uber Eats as your primary app. Once you get really good at it, then get on DoorDash, get on Grubhub, get on Instacart, Shipt, get on Amazon Flex. There's so many apps out there. This is going to help round you out for times when it's slow. And yes, I really would need to carefully explain. I can't quite prove it. You noticed in my earnings, I was making a lot more money accepting every offer. How is that possible? The only thing I can think of is I was getting profitable orders, also many unprofitable ones. Here in California, we get Prop 22 money. That also adds into it. So I think you would have seen a vast difference if I wasn't getting Uber Eats and I was just out taking every offer. I think the pay would have been much lower. But you can clearly see a difference that when I'm doing it now in 2025 and forevermore, I'm only taking profitable orders. This frees me up to be on the other apps. So get good at Uber Eats and then branch out to the other apps. Do one at a time until you get proficient. That way, if one area is slow of the market, maybe grocery shopping is busy. If food delivery is slow, maybe package delivery on Amazon Flex could be something. Overall, it's really not hard for you to go back, as I've already showed you, how to look up your online and active time, track your earnings and mileage. Overall, as an independent contractor, this is your responsibility to make sure that you are profitable. No one's going to care if you go out of business. So I've taken this to heart myself. I track everything, and I like to bring facts to you so you can see the difference. That way you can make an informed decision and you can choose to accept the tip or not. In this case, I recommend you do, because multi-apping is the way to go. And along with that, cherry picking is the way to go. When you blindly accept every offer, over time, you're going to have a lot more in expenses, your miles. If you're not saving for your car, you're going to be in trouble. But wouldn't it also be nice to know, just because how do you actually know how to pick profitable orders? You saw those last two I did, Starbucks order and then a grocery store. 4 bags going less than a couple miles. Yeah, the customer was nice, a $12 tip. But would it have been a worthwhile delivery if UberEats, roughly is only giving $3 or $4 for 2 miles? Maybe, but that's a grocery order. Restaurants are different. So I have good news for you. I've made a video teaching you how to pick these kind of profitable orders. That way, you're going to thrive as an Uber Eats driver as well. So check that out next, and I'll see you there.